Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Oak and Lamb YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oakes. I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. Miss Rachel Webb is also an owner and craft educator here, and she is going to be producing for us today. It's the lovely voice she'll be hearing, the typer behind the keyboard. We are going to do a live on sublimation, and we do sublimation a lot here, but it's been a long time since we've done one, and especially a beginner type sublimation. So we may have some new people here to the channel. Welcome. If you are new, we would love to give you a shout out. Let us know. And so I'm going to approach this as if we have viewers who have just kind of gotten their toe wet into sublimation or just curious about it. If you have questions about sublimation, definitely let us know. We are here to answer those, but I'm going to kind of try to hopefully answer all the questions that you might have about sublimation.
I think that the biggest thing about sublimation is people think it's very difficult. People think there's a lot of room for error. They're nervous. I think the number one question we get is about the printers. Would you agree?
Yeah.
People get so your hair.
Well, I just took these out because I just saw it and I was
Okay,
like, good Lord. Yeah.
Looks great. Redheaded Barbie. Yeah. But Becca hopefully will be able to shed some light on the most common questions that we get around the printer and converting and X, Y, and Z. So ask all your questions that you have. If you happen to be watching this after it's live, continue to ask your questions.
Yeah,
We'll check
absolutely.
these comments. We'll reply. We'll help you out. That's what we do here at Oak and Lamb. It's our absolute pleasure every day to wake up and help you guys become more confident and well-rounded. There are no stupid questions. Ask all the questions. We wish we had a community like Oak and Lamb when we started crafting to be able to ask these questions and get non-judgmental answers from a community like us. So ask away.
Printers are from the depths of hell. They are, yeah. Kelly is watching from Dollywood. How fun. What? Kelly, are you from the area or just vacationing there? Let me know. Hey, what happened to the backdrop? Great question, Kat.
Shipping
kind of
happened.
Knew. Yeah, shipment happened. I paid for expedited processing and shipment, and that fell through.
Yeah.
It's now saying it will be here Thursday. Fun times. It's gonna look cute though. We're really excited.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, let's get started. So let's talk about sublimation. Rachel touched a little bit on printers and all of that. Can you use a regular printer for sublimation or regular ink for sublimation? Sublimation, in a nutshell, is a special kind of ink, sublimation ink specifically, not the ink that you have in your normal inkjet printer. And what do you sublimate on? So we will say sublimation blanks, and there are a wide variety of sublimation blanks. You can use companies like PYD Life, which we really love. PYD Life actually sent us this, our tumblers. I'm trying to think, probably this tape, like lots of the things that we use is from PYD Life. We really like it. It is a reputable brand, and all of the blanks that we have used from them have been really good quality and have sublimated really well on. But if you are not sure if something is sublimatable, read the description. A lot of times it will say if it is or not. And if it's a piece of clothing or fabric or something like that, a high polyester count is what you're looking for, especially with shirts. 100% polyester, which we don't really love the feel of, right? A lot of times it's that really weird wick away athletic type shirt that's clingy, and if you don't weigh 100 pounds and have no back fat, it's cute on you. But so we don't really love that. But you can also get high polyester count, so maybe like a 70% poly or a 60% poly. And when you're looking to sublimate on things, you need to look for light colors. For instance, if I found this amazing tape dispenser and it was 100% polyester and I wanted to sublimate on it, I still can't do that, because color on top of black is not going to be able to be legible. You're not going to be able to see it. It's not going to transfer. So you're looking for light colors so that your colors will transfer over and be very vibrant and true to color, honestly. So look, white, again, is the best. If you're looking at shirts and things like that, you can look for like light heathered grays, light pinks, light blues. And if you're just using black on those will be like 100% really great popping. If you're using colors on those, then those colors are going to be a little bit different as well. So again, white is best for your blanks when you're sublimating.
Now, we do have a great question here.
Okay.
Hello from New Jersey. What program do you use to print large for the 40-ounce tumblers?
Yeah.
I love sublimation, but just now really getting into
That's a
it.
really great question. Thank you for asking that. I personally love Illustrator. It's what I use. It's what I teach. I have a course on it here at Oak and Lamb, and it's just my favorite. It's because I'm knowledgeable in that. You can use other programs like Canva. You can use Affinity Designer. You can use Silhouette Studios. You can use, I'm drawing a blank here.
Now, if you have a bigger sublimation printer, you can use Design Space, can you not? Not for the designing aspect, obviously, but like just to print it.
Well, I guess now you could.
If you have the large printer and the large.
I guess now you could.
Because their formats change. So if you don't have to do a lot of designing, if it's just like, you know, importing a cut file and then sizing it and going, Design Space should be a good option for you if you have the larger format printer and paper.
Had you ever considered spraying the current backdrop with clear coat matte spray to reduce reflection? I saw it as a teacher. Well, yeah, we have considered it, but our big concern is that this is a $900 sign and that we don't want to, one, ruin it, and two, we don't want it to yellow. Yeah. And sometimes when you do that,
also,
it was a great idea.
Technically, that's not technically glossy either. It does have a texture to it.
Yeah, it does.
I think it's just so big that everyone thinks it must be high gloss.
Yeah.
But it's truly not super high gloss. Okay, I got a convection oven for Christmas to use for sublimation. What is the best temperature and time for tumblers?
That's great. We're actually going to talk about that. I'll go ahead and tell you, and then I'll reiterate once we get closer. Sublimation in general, if you can't remember it, is really good at 400 degrees.
The hotter, the better.
Yes. Now, if you are pressing clothes and things like that, we do about 60 seconds. But if you're using a sublimation oven, it's a little bit different. So I do tumblers at 375 for 5 to 6 minutes. But 400 for 5 to 6 minutes would be absolutely fine too. It's not going to hurt it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so back to printers because I had a little.
Sorry, we had questions.
It's fine. No, it's totally fine. Absolutely, that's what this is for. You can buy a straight up printer specifically for sublimation. Sawgrass makes sublimation printers. They are incredibly expensive. They're good printers. Yeah. My personal experience with them is that I wasn't able to get the color exactly like I wanted. It could have just been the printer that I had.
Now, also, I'm going to have to give this to Sawgrass. Becca is a graphic designer, so she has a phenomenal eye for color. Some people might not notice the difference. Some people might not notice the difference. But when you have the creator of the cut file and it prints out and you apply it, and Becca can easily tell that it's not the design she created color-wise.
Right.
That was a problem for us, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And again,
it wasn't like yellows were
printer.
Orange or X, Y. It was off enough for Becca.
The whole entire thing, like for instance, when I did this, it was like yellowed. The whole entire thing looked yellowed, and it didn't matter what like profile I put in there, what changes I made. I could just never get it really great. So. Yeah, like I said, you can buy a printer specifically for sublimation. There are some great ones. You can buy some EcoTank printers and just from the very beginning put sublimation ink in and not your regular one. In fact, that's what a lot of our members do. You can buy a printer like what we have, which is the Epson Workforce printers. And when we bought ours, it was about $175. It is a wide format printer, so it will print up to 13 by 19 inches. Which is huge.
Which is the biggest we've ever needed.
It's correct.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's a great size. And that's what drew us to this printer specifically, that and the price tag. And then all you do when you get those printers, instead of putting their ink cartridges in, you get a refillable ink cartridge, put that sublimation ink in it, and install those instead of the ones that come with it. Now, when you do that, it voids warranties. So you have to consider that. I've never had an issue.
Show of hands, how many people are contacting for warranties on your printers? Come on, people. Like,
right.
It's fine.
I've never had it be an issue, and the price difference in everything and the ease of use with the wide format was worth the gamble to me to make that change. And we have videos on how to convert the Epson workforce printer. So if you're looking for something like that specifically, then we do have the video here. Also, before I get started, basically everything that we're using today has been linked below. Rachel put the link just to our Sublimation category on Amazon, and it has all of these things. So check that out. It has the sublimation printers, it has the papers, it has the tapes, it has the shrink wraps, it has the heat guns, the blanks, it has literally everything that you'll need.
Now, speaking of the shrink wraps, Stacy said, do you recommend the shrink wraps for use on the tumblers in the oven?
Yes, that's a great question. In fact, I was going to talk about that too. I love that you guys ask the questions before I even go there. It just gives me confirmation that what my plan was for today was a good one. I am going to be using both to show you the difference. In my personal opinion, if you know how to tape a tumbler and can do it well and do it tight, there is no difference. If you have trouble taping them, getting them smooth, and making sure there's no like folds
curling
and little
or lip rippling, or,
right?
Yeah, because you got to think of it like you want every bit of the paper to be touching the tumbler,
right?
Otherwise, it's not good when the heat of it is supposed to be transferring that ink. It's not going to be able to do that if your paper is hovering over parts of your tumbler.
There are also, in addition to just the shrink wrap and just taping it on, there are these silicone wraps that you can use as well. We have used those. They were fine as well.
Didn't we find that you just had to heat it a little longer because the silicone absorbed some of that?
Took a little bit extra. Yeah. So I think those are also linked on our Amazon storefront.
They should be.
I love my Epson for sublimation. Had it for many years now. Right, Christy. So overall, sublimation printers, if you're going to take one thing away from this, let it be this. Look for a wide format. The one thing that we hear over and over and over from people is, I wish I had bought one that printed larger. They have regrets.
That's the number one thing we hear.
Right. Number one thing. Look for 13 by 19. Personally, I don't need anything bigger than that. Now, if I'm going to be doing like big blankets, in fact, I'm trying to figure out how they do it. We get these blankets for our kiddos that are, well, they're like black blankets, but you can also get like the 50 by 60 sizes and stuff like that. And they're just sublimated. It's like a solid background with their name on it. And I would love to know what they're printing that with. Of course, it's like a big company that does this constantly. So, they need to put the money and the effort into doing that. But for us personally, what we do, 13 by 19 is as big as we ever need it. Okay, so let's talk about paper really quickly. Do you need sublimation paper? Show of hands, who here sublimates and uses sublimation paper versus regular copy paper? We've also done some side-by-side comparisons on this. Spoiler alert, you couldn't tell a difference. If you use regular copy paper, now, I did print because I was curious. If you use regular copy paper, we're talking the bright white copy paper from Walmart that you get in the ream, then we cannot tell a difference. Now, Rachel, go overhead so they can see a difference here. This is sublimation paper. This is cardstock, so not just copy paper, it's cardstock. It's probably about 100-pound cardstock. Do you see the color difference? Now, this is the same setting. It was on best quality, plain paper setting, but look how different this one is from this one.
It's like it
absorbed up too much of it. So do not use cardstock. It's too absorbent. Just use regular bright white copy paper. Okay, so sublimation, I use A-sub. I only do sublimation here and there. Sublimation paper. So it looks like most people are using the sublimation paper. However, like I said, you don't have to. It does I've used both, but mostly sub paper, Stacy said. Sub paper, because if you get it from, my heart's over it, I can't read it.
Your link. If you get it from our
crazy
link,
expensive.
It's not crazy.
Okay.
Also, we had a ton of questions, not on this particular video yet, however. can you let the paper sit after printing it and then use it later in order to sublimate, or do you need to use it within a certain time frame?
Right. We've heard that so many times, and I've tested that as well. We've printed out some things because what we used to do is about 6 weeks in advance, we would prep our projects, and then they would sit there until we were ready to use them when cut files were released and things like that. And so we would go ahead and pre-print things, and it would sit there. It would sit there for 4 to 6 weeks,
yeah.
and it did completely
Totally
fine.
No
Absolutely
difference
fine.
at all.
But we had heard that as well, that it might be an issue. So
now, what about printers? If you let your printer sit too long, what do you think is
that's
the
a great
worst
question.
thing that can happen?
Rachel, have we used the sublimation printer in this year? We have not.
No, we have
right?
not. No. So it's been a while.
We moved here in August of last year.
And I swear, this is one of the things that people want to scare you about sublimation printers. They're like, if you don't use it every 2 weeks, it's going to clog and you're going to have to XYZ. Like, don't overcomplicate it.
Right. In all the years that we have done sublimation, I have had to take this little kit, and Kat told me about it. It's phenomenal. And I had to clean the lines of our printer because it would not clean properly. Now, ours sat here, and when I went to print this out today, nothing came out.
Yeah.
Not black, not blue, not pink, not yellow, nothing. It was just a blank piece. And I was like, okay, this could be an issue. So I cleaned the print head, and then I did the test print thing. And I think I have them right here. And this is what came out after the first one. So I was like, okay, we're making some progress, right? So I cleaned it again. After the next one, this is what came out. Again, making more progress. So then I did it again, and this came out, and I don't know if you can see or not, but there's still some like little tick marks where it's not completely changed. And then I did the last one. I may have left it over there. The last one came out perfect. So it took me, 4 or 5 cleanings, but I didn't have to manually do it with the little syringe and solution to get through it. So sometimes if you do let it sit too long, then it will do that, and you just need to clean it out first. So and also, if you don't want to waste your sublimation printer paper, then you can run a print head test before you even print anything out, and make sure that it is not clogged and doesn't need to be cleaned. Okay, so I'm trying to think here really quickly. When you are printing out, do you notice here that my images are reversed? So that's another thing that we have had some of our favorite members make the cutest little shirts, and they wear them backward because they've spent and wasted this time and money because they did not mirror their image. This is, I would say, one of the biggest fails that most people have. They forget to mirror.
I would say 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
I go ahead and forget when I print it.
Yeah.
And then I print it and I'm like, Dad gummit.
Yes.
And at least the most I've wasted is lots of sheets of paper and some sublimation ink.
Right. Have we ever actually made one that?
I don't know if we went through with it purposefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. This sublimation oven, like I said, is PYD Life. I love this thing. And we use it way more than just for sublimation, right? So we use it for clay. We use it for shrinky dinks. We use it for...
use it for, anything craft related. Really, it does really
that you
well
would need
in
an
it.
oven for. We really love this. Can you use a convection oven? We get this question a lot. Yeah, absolutely you can use a convection oven.
I've even used, what are those, air fryers? I've
Yes,
used an air fryer
fryer.
before.
Yeah. And what was did you think the air fryer worked as good as the convection oven?
Well, the one thing I didn't do is shrink wrap them. If I'd shrink wrapped them, I bet it would have been the same quality. I like the sublimation ovens because you can put more sizes in them, because air fryers are relatively small normally. So
My 13 by 19 clogged and nothing worked. I'm wondering if I put the regular ink cartridges in it, if it would work as a regular printer. Penny, it will not because it's still clogged. So it's still going to be clogged
it's
either
something
way.
in the lines
Did you get the kit thingy that I'm talking about with the syringe and
the solution?
There's a solution in these little tube things that you put over the print head, and you push it out, and then like all the ink comes out, and you have to like blot it. It's a total mess. It's a nightmare to do.
But hey,
But it worked because I had to do that in the other studio. I use a toaster oven, paid about, I hate this heart that's right here because it covers up, $40 for it. Yeah. Tracy, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I like the size of this. So that was attractive to me. I do think it's weird that it has an upper and a lower that has to be heated.
Same. It should just be one. I don't know why you would need.
And I also
to
think it's weird that
separate
I
'em.
can't preheat it. It drives me crazy because if I hit it right now to go ahead and preheat it, it starts the timer like it's actually sublimating.
I know.
And that drives me crazy. I'm gonna stop it. Okay, so we've reversed our image, we've printed it out. I just cut this by hand. You don't need print and cut for this. You don't need that. And here's why. Anything that's white around here is not going to transfer over. There's no ink
So
there.
leave a little bit of a,
And
don't
yeah.
be cutting into the blue, because then of course.
Don't try to make it even, because
Yeah.
if you do, it's not going to be even. Just leave some of the white around. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. This one here too. You can use a paper cutter if you want to, or just your scissors, whatever you want to do here.
Stacy, right now is when Becca's going to give some tips for that. She says, any tips for getting a good tight fit around the top and the bottom?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do here. So that's when the shrink wrap comes into play. If you have trouble getting the good tight fit, the shrink wrap is a great solution, and it's very satisfying putting it on, and it's very satisfying taking it off. I don't know why. Is that a reason to purchase it? I think so.
I think so.
I think so. I'm making these tumblers for Fallon's softball
You mean the MVP?
MVP. My MVP.
You know, that's the first thing she said when she walked in this house.
She's so proud of herself, and she should be.
I
She
am the
played
MVP.
her heart
And
out.
I'm like, Fallon, I'm so happy.
She played her heart out. She really did. And I'm not just saying, like, I'm hard on Fallon. Like, I wouldn't say that if she didn't. I'm like, well, the second game and third game, she crapped it out. She decided, she woke up one day, I guess, and just decided that she wanted to change her perfect swing. And now she's like lowering her shoulder and lifting her head up and doing all this stuff. I'm like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
So really quickly, fourth game, right? It is 10-10. And
Oh,
yeah,
no pressure.
it's 10-10, right?
No pressure.
Guess who gets up? Fallon, who has not been hitting all day. And I'm like, in the video, you can hear me going, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And it was so bad. So first two, she underswings. The ball goes under. And then the next one, the coach was like, okay, I'm going to give it to her really low. It almost hit the ground. Literally, it was that low. And she swings like a freaking golf club and hits it, right? She hits it. So she gets on base and brings in that 11th run.
Oh.
Yeah, she played catcher that day. She caught everything, caught at home, got some kids out. Like, she
That's so
played
good.
so good. I was so proud of her. When they gave her the MVP award, she
was,
bawled.
oh, she was Rebecca sent me a picture.
Like, bawled. Yeah.
She's going to look at that picture at 25.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, and I
and it
kept
was a
saying,
candid, like her friends are around her and the
they
coaches.
were hugging.
and she's like, oh, I love it.
It was the sweetest thing ever. And she, I said, baby, you got to quit crying because I got to get your picture. We were, believe it or not, I'm helping with the social media.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Yeah. And so
I'm
I was putting pictures of all the MVPs up that day. It's like, Fallon, you got to quit. You can't be the only one who has a crappy MVP picture.
Crabby shit, God love
Ours
her.
little.
She is.
Ours little. Okay. Well, what am I doing? There we go. So for the shrink wrap, you're going to need a heat gun or a hair dryer, right? What's the difference in a heat gun and a hair dryer? Really?
I think that the heat gun is less blowing, more concentrated heat, but that's probably
well,
about
especially if you have a
it.
nozzle.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, you can do low to high. I guess you can regulate the temperature a little bit better.
My very expensive, high dollar name brand hair dryer, which
Yeah.
I'm kidding, guys. It's a
It's a
Revlon. It was
12,
$13. I bet it would do just as good as a heat gun.
Well, I also think this heat gun gets hotter than a hair dryer too. I
Okay,
would not
yeah.
want to put this heat gun on my hair.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
It's
either.
pretty bad. Okay, so first off, I've got this cute little tumbler. Again, it's PYD Life. It has 2 different attachments. One is just like this coffee mug attachment. Cute, right? Or, I'm dying. Look at this. This is a makeup attachment that I can't currently get on, but we'll figure it out. Look.
That is so stinking cute.
So cute. So we're going to have a baseball brother thing. So when you are trying to design for your tumblers, you need a measuring tape. A tape, not a stick, so that you can go all the way around, right? So I measure, and I like to leave a little bit above and below so that it doesn't look like I tried and missed, right? So I did mine at like 4 3/4, and then I wrapped like this and measured and did it at 9 1/4.
Bring it up about 3 inches. There you go.
9 1/4, so it would overlap just a little bit, and then 4 3/4. Same with this. And on this one, I just did like this from here to here.
Go up. There you go.
Let me just move this table a little bit. There we go. From here to here, and then around like this. Now, you can also sublimate this part. I have done this before. It's contoured, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
But it turns out cute if you have the willpower to want to do it.
And if you were just doing like pieces of things or like a word or something like that, it's even easier. But if you're trying to completely cover this part, it's a little bit more challenging. So for this particular design, I have elected to leave the bottom white.
Love it.
Okay, so let's do this one first. I'm just going to wrap like this. And what I do is take some heat resistant tape. You can get so many different kinds of heat resistant tape. There are itty bitty, like, is it 1/8 of an inch or
Yeah, it goes
1/8 inch,
tiny.
1/8 inch, all the way up to even wider than this. We never get more than 1 inch though, because we just don't need it. And there are yellow tinted ones, which I have heard some of our members have had issues with the yellow transferring over to garments. I've never had an issue with it on tumblers by any means. But I just put a little piece right there because I'm going to be shrink wrapping this one and lined it up like this. Now, I'm going to have to come back and fix that because if I do this, it's not going to overlap right. But that was just kind of like a little placeholder for me. Then I can remove like this. Tape it on top of each other.
Love that.
And then I'm going to just put this right here so that it doesn't move up and down, and then I'm going to shrink wrap it.
Oh, she's so smart. Oh,
I know. Now, this shrink wrap is so satisfying. They have different sizes. In fact, I kind of feel like I wish this were like this.
I know. I don't know why it's not.
You just grab your heat gun. I like to put mine, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's overlap on the top and the bottom.
Listen to those kids. Listen.
It's on low. Hold on. Do what?
I said listen to them kids out there. The 3 oldest ones are in the
time
pool.
of their life.
Yeah. I heard Beckett ask Fallon something about fruit, and she answered it, and he said, wrong, and pushed her in. So they were doing some type of a game where, like, you guess what the other's favorite something is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounded hilarious to me.
What is going on here? Oh. Apparently I turned it the wrong way.
Oh, look at that. Whoa, whoa.
Quit it. It's satisfying when it works right. Come on, no. That's terribly annoying. It's because it's so big. I didn't have any smaller ones, did I?
I feel like we're out of those little bitty ones.
I know. Let me see if this one will work. It'll fit down in there. Yeah, I think it will. There we go. And you could cut that off if you wanted to, but again, I'm not going to. Look at that.
So cute.
Go all the way around. just to make sure that it's good and tight. You don't want to see like any air bubbles in there, if that makes sense. Of course, it doesn't matter on the top and the bottom because there's nothing to sublimate, but I like to be thorough here. Okay, so that one's good. And then, well, there you go. This one, let me see if I can find another one. I'll try to cut that one and tape it and see if that helps. Or, oh, no, this one will fit. See, that's the thing. We just got like a whole, I guess, box of just random ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Put this one on the same way. Again, a little bit of tape right there. That will move. Don't forget to move it. My baby's screaming.
I hear him. Anna must be pinching him.
So when you're putting it on, you want to make sure that you're smoothing this out. Again, so that there are no air bubbles, no wrinkles, anything like that. Get that on there. Tape it up here.
Are you going to throw all these in there at the same time?
I think so.
Love it.
Her down in there.
That's good and satisfying. That's
It is. Okay, so see right here? You don't want to leave that. Make sure that you're going in all the way around. Well, down here it doesn't matter because there's not any image on it, but if there were, that would be a problem. I don't know if you can see or not, but these little ones are going away when I go back over it. Okay, so I have that one. Now I'm gonna do this one and just tape everything.
If y'all could just see the cord situation happening down there below Becca.
It's so
really
bad.
The PYD Live Sublimation Oven's cord is too short.
It's so short. That is one of my complaints about it. Oh, now I'm terrified that I put this one on upside down.
I know. They
Okay,
would have
I
said
didn't.
something. Trust me, we would have known. Watch me give you all the confidence in the world and us unwrapping. It's wrong. Let's roll the dice today.
Okay. That's really good and smooth and tight. And now I like to use smaller pieces. You could take one long piece and go all the way around, but I like to use smaller pieces just to make sure that I have it good and tight. And so what I'm doing is pushing like this, making it smooth in this piece, and then push up and over all the way around to get that good seal right here without wrinkles and air bubbles. Now, this is easier on flat cups like this. If it were contoured, it would be a little bit more difficult. I don't love contoured cups and stuff like that for that very reason. Looking good. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the bottom here. Smooth that, smooth down. Now you can see here, because it's contoured right here, that we have some like bubbling right there. There's nothing you can do about that. But because there is no transfer going to be happening there, it won't matter. There we go. Now, is this foolproof? No, absolutely not. There are times when I know that I have just taped everything, put it all down perfectly, and that it's going to come out wonderfully. And for some reason, there's some shadowing on a part of it. It's so flipping annoying, but it's part of the game, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to just put this in here. You know, I said I was going to do them all. Okay, it will fit. I'm going to lower it though. So this has a couple of different settings, just like an oven, and you can raise and lower it. I'm going to put all these together. It doesn't matter if they touch or not. And I have the upper and the lower, both set to 374 because it won't stop at 375. And I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. So what it's going to do is it heats it up. Once I hit that, it heats it up, and then it will start my timer after that. Again, it annoys me that I can't preheat this thing. So you can't preheat convection ovens. I think that's a win in my book. So while that is working, let's take a look at comments and talk to you all, because we've got probably 7-ish minutes that we're going to be waiting on this. I'm missing all of the chat as I'm doing a large porch cleaner for my sister's birthday and decided to do all 11 phrases painted in different colors. Kat, that is going to be beautiful, but that was very ambitious.
Oh, darn. Kat can't torture me today. Oh.
Could you cut the wrap? You know what? I think you know what? I'll do one really quick while we're waiting. I think you could cut part of it, but it's not going to shrink perfectly where that tape is. Let's see. And then I'll tape it together.
Do you have to rotate them in the oven?
No. Great question.
Jan said, but I'm here, Rachel. Jan, do you normally torture me in the comments? Jan.
Are we missing something here?
What?
I'll use this guy.
Don't torture me, Jan.
As you can tell, I didn't get this cleaned after our portrait contest, but
No. I really want, why don't we have a sink down here? One of those
your
ugly
husband must
ones.
hate us.
Just
The utility sink, yeah.
Yeah.
We could even pee in it. It could be like a
We
2 for
could
1,
pee
Rachel.
in it.
It would eliminate
Could we
all of
make
our
it like
issues.
really like the one that's on the floor, you know, like a pan?
Yeah.
And we could just squat. What I wouldn't give for a toilet there. I've literally said I don't even think that we need. Now don't heat that up. You'll burn the plastic too. Be careful. Anywho.
So yeah, taping it works perfectly fine. Over here.
She said no, but I can rise to the occasion. Jan, no, Jan.
Nice.
But no, I've literally said, can we just put a toilet down here? Like, not a bathroom. There's no need. Like, just set a toilet in the middle of the downstairs. I'm fine with that.
We have found some like camping toilets and thought that might be a good idea, and then like we are pretty sure we exceed the weight limit for them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Has it
Jan
started
said,
yet?
just put in a toilet and wash your paintbrush and stuff in the tank. Yeah. Me. This sounds creative, Jan. I like it.
Well, either way.
No one walks in this house that I wouldn't care if they saw me pee. Not a
Same,
single soul.
same. Gosh, I should have really fixed my hair today. I washed it last night and did nothing. I didn't dry it.
It's clean.
That's true.
Everyone, it is clean.
I did nothing to it. What? I got the new.
You know what?
Oh, the tumbler press, and I love it. I think it's similar to the. Yep, Cricut mug press. No. Not the Cricut. I'm lost my mind. The PYD one that we have that closes.
Do you want my hat back? Do you want me to throw you my hat?
No, I don't care that much. Thank you though.
We can just switch places.
Why don't you just come finish it with your hair like that? Yeah, that's a do I've never seen on you.
I'll have a product in it. It'll go wherever I want it to go, except pretty.
That's not true. What kind of printer do you recommend for sublimation? It's okay, Daisy, that you got here late.
Actually, it's not okay, Daisy. Where have you been?
Yeah.
What have you been
How
doing?
dare you? We personally love the Epson Workforce, like the 7840, 7820. And the reason that we love them is that you can print 13 by 19, so a wide format printer. Our number one recommendation is to get a wide format printer. Now, the Epson Workforce printers are not marketed as sublimation printers, so you're not going to see that. However, when you're setting it up, the only difference is that you don't put the ink cartridges that come with it. You put in sublimation ink cartridges that are specifically for your printer. They're easy to find. They're actually in our Amazon storefront as well. And then you fill those with sublimation ink. It's that easy to convert your printers or that printer. For those of you who have the EcoTanks, which EcoTank printers do you like for sublimation? Or if you have a printer that's specifically for sublimation, do you love it? What is it? Is it wide format? Let Daisy know. That's why we love this group, because there are so many crafters here who have worked with so many different things and they're like, no, don't get this. It's terrible. You don't waste your money on it. That's also why we're here. Or this is amazing. It's my favorite. I've had it for years. Wouldn't have anything else. That type of thing. So do your thing, Flock. Let her know. It's still not going.
It's at 374 though.
Well, it said it was at 374 because it's set there.
Oh, but it's preheating.
But the timer is still not going.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to take my kid to college. I can't decide if she's going to excuse that or not.
When my parents dropped my sister off at college, of course I was there. And my mom got a wash rag out and sat it on her leg when we got back in the car to leave. And it was for my dad and his many, many tears. Because to see a big man like my father, looks like a big biker guy, okay? Looks very unapproachable, very mean and hateful. Just weep for an hour and a half on the way home. It was pitiful. It was pitiful. Poor Dad.
We all took my oldest brother, Fred, to Tennessee Tech. That's where he went. And it was about 2 hours, 15 minutes away. And we all bawled on the way home. Now, I don't think anybody cried when they took me to college. I think no one cried.
They're like, bye, Becca.
Yeah.
Bye.
Do you recommend rotating the tumblers in the convection oven? Stacey, we already talked about this. I already saw your comment.
We don't rotate nothing.
We don't rotate it, Stacey.
Nothing's rotated here.
Because the heat from the top and the bottom, it heats from the top and the bottom, so that's why I don't rotate. If you had a convection oven, do they heat from just the bottom?
I think convection ovens have a fan in them that does a really good job at moving that heat all around.
If this only heated from one, I would probably rotate it. That's a great question. I have the Epson 8550, which is wide format. I also have the Epson 2850, which is regular size. I love them both. Okay. Kat says that she has the Workforce 7310 up to 13 by 19 and loves it. Definitely go large to begin with. I didn't regret it and still have the smaller ones. I didn't and regretted it and still have the smaller one sitting around. Jen loves her ET 15000. Make sure to print it ever so often so it doesn't clog. Great advice, Jen.
Well, we just saw our lights flicker and assumed something was going on over here.
Is it ever going to work? I feel like it should have worked by now. I mean, it's on. I can hear the fans.
Timer does it by itself?
Huh?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying, are we sure that the timer
Yeah, because
starts
that's
going
one thing
by
I can't
itself?
stand about it. Hey, I still have the little plastic things on this.
I'm gonna sneeze now.
I don't
Excuse me.
understand. Go!
Guys, I bought this blackout tent for Charlie. It's called the Slumber Pod. I saw it on Tanner's Instagram story. He went somewhere, and if you have kiddos in a pack and play, like on vacations and stuff, and you are going with big families, like our vacation coming up in just a couple weeks, we're going with the Oaks and the Lambs, and each family gets a room. You know, so we're all gonna be.
This Airbnb is supposed to sleep 8 people.
Max. It says max occupants 8. We're putting 14 members of our family into this condo. Hysterical.
4, 5, 6, 8 of them are 14 or under.
Yes. Yeah. How many of them are 2 and under? 6? 5?
5.
5 or 2 and under. But it's called a slumber pod, and it's like a cloth tent that you put over the pack and play. I made Becca get in it. She said it was completely pitch dark in there. It's supposed to block out all the light. It comes with like a fan. It has like a slot that you can put a baby monitor in there. So we're going to try it out and see how we like it. I'm super excited, though, to put Charlie to bed in the same room with us, but him have some darkness and whatnot. Because, of course, the light will come in the mornings and for nap time. And you know, I feel like maybe by the end of the week, we'll be fighting over which kid gets it. Just, you know, rock, paper, scissors on which kid gets to use the slumber pod. We'll see. I'm excited.
Hey, I want to sleep in it. I mean, it was like
Becca was like,
pitch black.
do they make these for adults? Becca is the type that can't even, like, she would, like, be the one to buy black stickers and put them on, like, the little teeny tiny TV red light. Like, she can't.
I can't handle it.
She can't.
I have an Epson Workforce 7 something. That's wide format. I bought an EcoTink and converted it, and within a month regretted not going large to start with. Sold it for the price I paid for the printer.
Good.
This is working, but the timer is not working. Like, it's hot in here.
Maybe just set a timer on your phone or on your watch.
I assume the heat. Do we have that heat gun? The temp gun?
If we had it, it would be up in there somewhere. I don't remember coming across it, which means it was put up already. It wasn't out and about. Isn't any of the tool drawers?
That's what I was looking at. I just wanted to see if it was actually getting up to the temperature because it should have been preheated.
Oh wait,
by
I think
now.
it's upstairs. I think Justin used it for meat. You want me to go grab it?
You know what? He needs to quit crapping our stuff. The light is not even on. It's so weird. I actually wanted to use these, so I really don't need there to be a fail. You'll see it like makes the lights in here flicker too. Lenny. Thank you, Rachel. How do you tell the temperature of meat with this? Don't you need a probe?
Maybe it's the temperature of the barbecue.
That makes sense.
I think he sticks it in the barbecue. I don't know. Ask the man.
See, this only says...
Is it in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit. Well, okay. That was... It might be. That said 363. So it may actually be. Should I risk it? I'll do one.
I think it's hot enough. I feel like it's hot enough.
Can you heat them and leave them in for too long? You know what? We've done it so many times and never had an issue.
I don't know if you could heat it for too long, especially a tumbler. Like now, of course, hours. You know. But if we're talking like the difference of 10 or 20 minutes, I really don't think it matters.
I mean, I think the biggest danger would just be burning the paper.
Paper, yeah.
So one thing to look for also, you can see after you've sublimated, the color kind of comes through the paper too. So I think this is actually a good indicator that it did work.
Okay.
But I'm only going to do one for now just to make sure.
You could peek too, and if it doesn't look like it's coming off, tape it back, throw it back
That's
in there.
true.
So maybe peek at it, peeps at home.
I've never had this issue with this oven and the timer before. Also, you're supposed to let these sit so that you can cool and all that fun stuff, but oh. Stuff like that happens. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. At least it was mine.
Oh, Mary said if you heat it for too long, your blacks can turn brown. That's interesting.
Huh. The front looks really good, though.
Yeah, it sure does.
This part looks really good.
I think I'd count that as a win.
Well, that's annoying to me.
It's okay.
That's okay. I like it. I'm going to open the other ones now. Mine blinks during the warming process and then starts counting down. Yeah, that's what this one normally does, and it's not. Even through this, you can see. And these, generally, I don't see it on here, but generally these have a perforated section that you can rip and it just comes off. I don't, like I said, don't see it on this. And we had a friend at one point who was so mad because she couldn't get hers off. I'm like, then just cut it. Cut it. Again, let it cool. Don't do what I'm doing. Burn the crap out of your hand. Are our kids in the pool again?
Were they out of the pool?
Well, they said that they were going to get out. You know, they all asked for towels.
I think they all lied.
Yeah, I think so too. It is easier when it's perforated.
Tracy said, I'm too impatient to let them cool down. We all are.
Look
too.
at this though. The color went through to
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a success.
I think so too. They get out there hooping and hollering. Ah.
Oh, well, she is gorgeous.
Yeah, that one's nice. That's for Coach Ashley.
That's for Coach Ashley.
Coach Ashley, who Beckett absolutely is in love with. Okay. Last one. This one I also don't see any perforation. It's so satisfying. It always is so satisfying. And I don't care how many times I've sublimated, when I pull the paper off and see that it is transferred and it's so vibrant and so pretty, like I'm amazed every single time. Also, if I have a craft fail, that's incredibly infuriating. So there's that, but the good outweighs the bad. There we go. Look at that. It's so pretty. I love it.
Cute.
I know. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So there's the sublimation. Did I leave any questions unanswered? Let me know if we have anybody watching who has questions that did not get answered. Let me answer those for you. If not, we are finished for today. And I'm so grateful that you were here with us for this live. I love going back and doing this type of stuff again. Just easy, quick wins, right?
Love them.
So cute.
Love them.
Me too. Anyway, thank you for being here with us today. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. It is free to do that, and it's a very helpful way to support us here at Oak and Lamb. And if you haven't liked the video and you do like it, then go ahead and like the video. Black's not coming out. Why? So purchase the auto press. I love that. It auto rotates. Okay. Anyway, I'm not seeing any other questions. I'm going to let you all go, but thank you for being here. If you are not already a member of Oak and Lamb, click the link below, become a member. You can join annually or monthly here and get access to cup files and other education like we have here, as well as access to our private Facebook group, The Flock, over on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.